I got that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. I'm vibing, I'm moving to that vibe. 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 Deep shit all around me, but I gotta go through just to ground me on the other side. Where the sky is blue, words are true, right point of view. Don't be confused. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Now you hear the message clear. Stand up and have no fear. No fear, no fear, no fear. No fear, no fear, no fear. I got that vibe. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You see, now that you breathe, that vibe in me. Waking up in the middle of the night with the woes of the world is fight or flight. Gonna dance, ain't no one stopping. No little things, big things popping. Walking through my dreams, no trolling. Take the good and the bad, keep rolling. Negativity, face slapping. Stories being told, they capping. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. I'm vibing, I'm moving to that vibe. 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 Deep shit all around me, but I gotta go through just
StreamYard, I'm over y'all.
Where the sky is blue, words are true, right point of view.
Is really frustrating. This is going to be my last week using your service. Straight to YouTube and deal with this. It's like people can hear me and hear the connection, and I have done everything connected directly in with the Ethernet cable. I let the hook get me. That's what I call it when you feel like you're getting. Hopefully those of you who are commenting, well, show today. Ooh, that's a little more. Um, and our topic is about bullying, and it is really, really interesting to me because I feel like a lot of people they go by, they think bullying is just for kids in school. It's not. I'm here to tell you. I have sat and I've heard grown men say things to their girlfriend, wife, significant other, like, name calling or basically saying things like to infuriate them. Now, granted, there are toxic relationships where there are people that create that unfortunate a lot of people undergo. Um, with that being said, like I mentioned, it's a lot of drama that happens. So I'm hoping that you all are joining me today, or being a part of our discussion, because it's really an important discussion today, because some people are being bullied. Um, they're in their relationship, or they're in a friendship, whatever it is. But when we have over the years, feel that mind effery thing. Mind fuckery is the same thing as bullying. And I feel like manipulating again is the same thing. You can change somebody and they don't you, reality is that you don't want to be enough or too good or whatever, then that's a word. Never said that. You never heard me say that. You know what I'm saying? And relationships that people create, and the goddess are done, y'all. Let me tell you, uh, they are the men for a while. Um, but anyway, bullying and mind effery, and I use curse words because it's not very ladylike, and I get that thing. You can love me or you can hate me, and if you hate me, but when we talk about these relationships and things like that people have here, basically do my research like you with information. So we do have our discussions. I can give you the information and you can, figure out how to get where you need to go. I'll be providing those links for you, and you can get it from someone who can assist you. I say to you all is me healing me, you healing you, us healing each other, because that's what I again specific or jump off wagon because I can't get with what you believe in and what you think. No, I'm a voice for who facts, teaching and sharing you with you facts that if you can, if this guy is basically making you feel some kind, and people that's going through it, it's for the people doing it, and so I want to articulate it for the people doing it, so you understand what you're doing, and you won't. It's a behavior that a particular language to children, and so that's what we're here to clarify today. Is this not kids anymore? You know, a lot of times there are people, they'll sit there and they're like, well, like the oldest one I can think of is if you look at there saying you ain't this, you ain't that. See StreamYard, this is what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna get ready to tag you. My be blinking on everything that you say. I don't know what's going on for going. Okay, you're every to have experienced either go through it. It's very difficult. Is don't fully understand the psychological of bullying, and so one of the things I is permission, because come all you know, these, I mean, it's a lot of things, you know, and it's basically simplified as any type of unwanted behavior. A person who is trying to hurt you, maybe they want to harm you, you know what I'm saying, or it's a hobby of that person's just to mess with people, you know what I'm saying. But when I personally have not this memories and had it happen to me, but I have personal and, and the reality is, you know, this can come from youth people that are handsome. Why is a person having dial bullying, and um, we have so many different resources for you today that I'll provide for you. But just first of all, psychologically, you know, someone preying on them or someone creating like this again, where the person's feeling like hatred of that person doing what they do is we can focus on certain things that are okay. So maybe you have something unique about yourselves. Could be preying on um, a person. So with that intent of, like, yeah, you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't this, you ain't that. I ain't hurt you physically or emotionally. So, there's so many things about is how you're feeling. If someone's communicating with you in a way that is not making you positive, okay? So what happens is it starts, maybe someone starts to initialize, become self-critical, um all these different things that they're saying about you. Well, you already know that they're not true, but because it's a two-sided factor, you got a insecure person, things about you, and you already know what you are, who you are, where you are from, what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. So that strength alone should have you standing on the grounds of not being, like, make you be something different than that. You are an awesome person, whether you're a woman, a man, or a non-binary. Some of that I don't understand because I know I go by she, so I just do she. But I don't want to offend anyone. But trust characteristic in order, like, to avoid bullying. Then we, we date people that we're not interested in. Cover up our bodies, like, there's something to be a idiot who you feel like you're non-worthy. Now, granted, I'm not trying to be negative person doing it, because it's not about me putting somebody else down to make me feel good. It is a person for you, and I feel like I I believe in yourself. Okay, whether it's contingent upon whether you want it. For those of you who may have a relationship and maybe your significant other call you weight, say that your hair looks ugly like that, or why you makeup. When we do things to feel better about ourselves, right? I basically feel like the majority of the time, I don't wear makeup. I'm comfortable. I'm binging TV. I'm working on something else. I'm trying to get it on, trying to get myself on the good foot. So maybe I don't wear makeup. Maybe I don't do this. But when I do put it on, I love mirror in the sense of enhance something, but it's not that I'm doing it because I want to please someone else. It's not that I'm not going to do it because somebody's not pleased. And I forget being on dating sites over the years, and I remember this dude, and how people have, like, specific look, like they have eyebrows, or they just have this look about them. And even though at the time I was not attracted to the weight and his hair and all that, I wasn't attracted. But what I was telling myself was, okay, I'm gonna give this person. And so at that point, I didn't say anything. therefore, and thus. Once we met, he began to me, you know, like the shape of my face, the shape of my this, that, and the other. Look at this, my that he looked like such and such and such and such, but I didn't know. To me, who they are, and you know, suffice to say, I never saw them again or whatever. But I was really outdone that you gonna waste time to take me on a date. And I had this. I mean, it don't matter if I had a picture, but I don't lie about who I am. Whatever. But it was just an astonishing fact to me. But again, there are some of us out here in society that, unfortunately, because of social media and some of the things that have brought us to a place that is giving us so much attention, like here a lot, you know, we do on the podcast money. Everybody's getting in the, you know, and the rich get richer, but the poor they stay poor. You know, you can keep at it, and I believe myself. They say, "Oh, you don't get it. You don't get it because they're already rich." Or you don't need to. I know that I have what it takes, and I know that I'll succeed. But I listen to Gary V. I love Gary. He has a mouth like a sailor, and but that's cool because that's him, and I love him for who he is. And the people that come to him, they probably, you know, or they about that. And when you sign up with him, he sends you these text messages, and they always come right on time. To me, that is, but I feel like he's talking to me when I get him. And reinforcement from people. A couple of my friends who are always on the grind, they are the ones that told me about Gary Vee because both of them, we met, but then when we see each other, like I redoing houses and stuff. So, you know, and he was telling me, hey, you know, he lives in New York, and this is what he's doing and how he do it. And things that it is so many to go into. So you just have to do your research. Anyway, not the point is, so know you're around good people because you're basically doing the same things that they're doing, or you're moving to affect behavior, and in ways that basically I do this, but it can turn, you know, health. Last week with hugs and cards, people meditate. My big thing, meditate. Meditation to relieve some of the issues that you're undergoing, whether it's due to work or we see that bullying is all wrong, you know, in this factor because it starts to affect you and it physical health and stuff like that. But it isn't because we're different in some way. You got to believe that just because we're different, they'll be saying, you know, things that are inappropriate to you, making you feel like crap. At some point, when you raise to a place where you feel good about you and the way someone treating you or saying things to what's going on with you, and I feel like some of the younger generation, a lot of, I want to say that a lot of the younger generation is on top of this and they're doing a lot of things to make things better for themselves. Ginger ale. I don't know, because I've also seen a lot of sides, and that's tripping me out. They still have to go back into the 70s and then count 777 going on. But what the reality is that there was a time that because of one thing or another, drugs, anything, I can't call it, but what I can say is we've come to a time now where suicide has become so prevalent, and it's understand that if a person is sitting out, I have relatives here in the area, and I can go visit if I want to, but I just lie home. I like, doing my laundry, cleaning up, getting things, in a nice, like, I love it because I love to be in a nice space that's clean. And I couldn't, I needed to do, and because of my apartment being so small, I'd have to move everything to the front to clean the back, or move everything to the back. And so it got invasive, or I'd get exhausted and then I'd be tired and not want to do something. But I wasn't depressed. But if someone were to come over, they probably would have thought I was over, that I didn't keep my house clean. But that's neither here nor there, because when I'm going to be responsible for care of what I got to take care of, but I don't worry about what they thought about me. I just don't. I never ever have. There have been moments when I've had depression, but it wasn't because of someone else. So the first thing is that we have to find that clarity for who you are, believe in yourself, and don't feel as if you're so extra hard on yourself because for whatever reason something's not working to the benefit of what you're doing. You are good enough for yourself, and you build. But one of these websites that I'm going to leave you, they did, and it was amazing. So they spoke to like over 7,000 people, right? And in their process of speaking to these people about bullying, they asked them to define, what they felt bullying was, and then the people would come back and they would have their own definition, and they'd have ever on whether or not they've ever bullied someone so much. If they might not be labeled as a bully, but have you ever you could be a basketball player, and do you always go guard the small basketball player? You're so big and you think that they're small, what is it about your size that prevents you from guarding that person? Do you feel like, this is when, in a physical sense, on a sports arena or a music, any type of entertainment, anything where it's competitive, that's where you go out and you craft your skill. You become good at whatever it is you do. And I remember, I always would tell them, well, how would you handle it if it was a girl and you was about to kiss her? How would you handle? You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be able to, be the dada. You want people to talk good about, have these good rumors about you, because school is all, so I get where the bullying can come from in school, because it's always about an image. But I would liken the ball on the court or the field to a scenario they can actually feel. And I've shared this with you guys before. In order to accomplish, you have to understand what would it feel like for me to be successful? What would it feel like for me to be rich? What would it feel like for me to be happy? What would a athlete that performed at top levels, what would it feel like? And so I explained that, or like it was a girl, whether you was grabbing her boob or kissing her face, how does that feel? And so when I just before they got out of the car, when we go into the game, why do you always give us a lecture? And it took a while for him to ask, because it was my norm. And I was like, because I'm trying to teach y'all, I'm so and so's mom, and I love him, and I love y'all like I love him. Y'all part of his life, you part of my life. I'm gonna teach you like I would teach him. And so he would be, my child would be like, oh Lord. But eventually they all got used to it, because they had to be some validity in it. And then they all would do their little consensus and kind of weed in maybe what I said and then get their own thought. But the point being is, you're bullying someone or you're being bullied by someone, then you have to ask yourself, if you base this on definition, like if you take the definition of what a bully is, of what you think it is right now to this day, and you use that definition, you put that definition into not you've ever done that or not, whether you know the right definition or not. What's the definition? Okay, you got that definition. Now, in your mind's eye, have you definition your interpretation of a definition of a bully? Have you ever? And so, in this study, and again, I'll be sharing these links with you of who did this. They did this study with 7,000 people. 14% of the people agreed that yes, they had bullied based on their own definition of what they thought a bully was. Right? And then about 1,200, if we were to say that it was a mistake, someone based on their definition, that's 14% of. So with that, or study had never been done before, and they used scale and to determine other things, and they asked an intimate question about their life, like exploring things like stress and trauma and home lives, relationships, or just basically their self-worth and how they felt about themselves. And so when they started to do this study, when they started asking questions, what they found out is that they asked all 7,000 people question, and then they compared the answers from those who had never been bullied. So if we said 1,200 people out of 7,000 said they had been bullied, then leaves us at 5,800 who had not been bullied. Okay, when that comes down to that, so the comparison with the versus those who had not been bullied at least once, those maybe bullying others on a daily basis. Okay, and this gave them a very strong scientific fact that the data they had collected identified the real reason why people bully others. And so it became very clear that the reason they were just, scientifically proven, mind you, was that getting are contrary to popular belief, right? That's because of the characteristics of the person experiencing bullying, the person being bullied. the question was then raised, why do people bully? Are they bullying because they look this way or whatever? And the first topic was stress and trauma. And this is sad, it's scary. It could be a number of reasons why this is happening, but basically, it was more than the average person was experiencing stress or trauma. Had a 5-year span from the time of the study. And some of those things might be like maybe their parent or full faith in. The sun is out and I have the curtain open, sorry. This faith in these, whoever they have faith in, they had indicated that maybe it was a male, female, or getting bullied, and come to find out when they split up or they separated, that created this trauma in this individual, in of a relative, or maybe gaining a sister if they were younger. But it just makes, because we basically even it out and learn that stress is very different in many people, and it comes and manifests in many different ways. So what you hear someone doing may not be what you do, but negative behaviors like violence and these are like a temporary mask over the issue that they have, which again, you know that somebody going through something is the only type of person that's doing this kind of thing, right? But what makes it is that they masked the real issue. And I said, go back. If there's something that's creating a behavior, I never understood what it was that was creating my behavior. So once I realized that and I found that out, it's some of those behaviors, or all of those behaviors, I view food and no longer did it being bullied, or a person bullying somebody else so that they can feel good about it, masking trauma and stress. When we talk about all these things that can manifest in individuals, it always comes down to the same thing, right? Stress, trauma, something that's creating a problem with an individual that they're not handling, right? And so with that being said, there is everything that we go through, we can surmise and say it's because of stress, it's because of addiction, it's because of that. The person that's going through it that's what causes them to become. Now, in adults, I'm gonna get into that in a minute, how if them are being manipulated or someone playing you. But aggressive behaviors, out of these same 70 people, about 10% of the people who had admitted to bullying someone else were male. Okay, when you think about it, now I'm not saying all men are bullies. What I am saying is to this high standard where they're being told, you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that. The sun is messing with my green. But anyway, point is, they're always being challenged to be this dude that like what's a good example? They're more likely than girls to maybe. But again, for guys, it's discouraged. If it's discouraged for them, and so they're discouraged in so many ways because they're being taunted, like, oh, they come on when somebody calls IAP, or whatever, and or they say something about you can't basketball. I bet you can't touch the rim, but you can't do that. So they start, at young ages, like they say, learn stuff from at 5 years old, and they start changing based on their friends. So at 5 in kindergarten, because they're being manipulated, but no one really knows that. You're 5 and you don't really get it, but you try as a parent to be prevalent in that child's life so that you can always hopefully leave the door open for them to come to you. But if not, you have to teach them, even if they don't ask, because again, when these statistics were done, God culture, and compared to ways in which girls, okay, and the moment a guy starts to show any sign of emotion, he's told to, to man up or stop being a girl. I mean, like, for real, there's so many of us women out here to this day in the relationships that we have with our husband, our boyfriend, significant other, that we want their emotions to come. But because they've hidden so long and hard behind the mask of not being able to expose who bullied them or expose what it is that created this scenario for them, they hide behind that, and that creates this aggressive behavior. And for girls, it's encouraged that they speak out about issues that affect, well, if somebody's, sexually harassing you at work, or they're doing something to you that's not acceptable or what have you, then you should do this and you should do that and so forth. But when they're being told, they either do it or they don't, or there's some type of fear. Let's see if I can get the curtain to close. Fear that's being that's stopping them from doing certain things because of the fact that they're too desperate, So with that being said, one of the things that we then look into is how do we sorry, trying to get the curtain to close. We were discouraged, and so that they can't respond with aggressive behavior, such as bullying, as a way of coping with issues that affect them. But this is why guys are more scary, where they commit crimes, assault, with a deadly weapon or whatever, or maybe they're, raping someone. Dang it, I can't get the curtain to fall over because that sun is awfully bright. But with that being said, it's just an unfortunate scenario that happens in so many people's lives, and something, that it's not something we're born with. That's the good thing, is that we're not born with this trait. We're not born with this quality, but the thing of it is, because it's a learned behavior, you then have to put it back on, okay, is it the parents? Is it what? And it is, of course, it's our parenting. Stronger in the way that we parent without becoming overly aggressive or making our child feel somewhat inferior, but making sure we're an open book for them and that they could come to us for anything, questions, issues, but actively being taught by society is what creates or dysfunctional gender norms. You know what I mean? So it's causing dysfunction because, again, here we go at age 5. We are 5 years old. We're in kindergarten. I got my crayons. You got your crayon. Hey. And basically, Somebody may have got Dollar Tree crayons, but I got Crayola crayons because mine is name brand. Okay, so I got my Crayola crayons, and they come out better on the paper than the Dollar Tree crayons. And the person with the Dollar Tree crayons is angry because they can't have your crayons. Now, the obvious thing that they would say, can I use some of your crayons? Because the person you are is like, sure, sure. Or because of society, they're only five, but because of something in their world has made them feel inferior, they're not going to admit that they want to borrow your crayons because, shoot, to them, crayons are. In school, they used to talk about Bobos. Y'all know what Bobos are? Those were shoes that weren't Nikes, and they kind of curled up at the toe because they didn't have good support in them. So anything that you didn't have that was name brand would ostracize you. That is a form of bullying. Crazy, because those of us from those years ago, or having been that are older than some of you now, you call it something else. Y'all have new words every day for stuff, and I have to look it up, call somebody up, use a line, and say, okay, got it. But with that being said, it is very unfortunate that we are a product of society function in our brain. Oh, because if you culturally, they've taught you what they know culturally. Maybe it's a pride thing, maybe it's not a pride thing, whatever. Your parents did the best that they could, and it's unfortunate because sometimes there's generational that they don't. Right now in 2023, we are in a time of where we're very self-aware of so many things, and where you have more clarity than you have ever had in your life, and it's about to speed up, meaning things are going to start hitting you so fast. That's why meditation, in the process of meditating, the process itself is for you to sit still, not think about anything, not do anything, not worry about anything, completely out, and you just think of blankness. Focus on something like air, like, you might hear a dripping faucet. Some things that you focus on, they'll take you to a place that takes you above and beyond so that you can actually clear your mind out. And later, when you come back, when you stop your meditation, about 20 minutes, 40 minutes, some people, when you're meditating, you're going to come to a place where you feel like, I am getting these nudges. I'm getting like things that your inner voice is telling you to do. Go over there, turn off that lamp, and take the trash out. And when you come back, you're going to sit down, write down 5 things about, like, things that why. And so you start questioning. And until you become stronger in your meditation and understand that the inner voice is guiding you to a positive path, you won't do it. You're crazy, but you're not. So you got to listen to that, because when you meditate, it relieves you of not only this stress, but it will heal you from the things that have hurt you over the years. Okay. And one thing to keep in mind, this is a very profound thing, and then I'm going to move on with the bullying, is that your inner voice never looks back. Deep, right? It never looks back. So if you are confused about something that happened in your past, you're confused about whether or not you should do something based on something from your past, it's not your inner voice, because your inner voice only wants good things for you, positive things for you, happy things for you. And because it tries to prepare you for those positive things, whether it's fame, it has to prepare you on a path and on a journey that have to get you there. And it's all real, but you got to research it yourself. I'm just sharing with you. And this is one of the ways that you have to use and can use to cope with some of the things that have caused in your life, and it's very important. But we don't. That when people get bullied, it's because they got low self-esteem, right? But see, they come through to you at one point in your life, because I don't care what it says through, like females, okay? We get our menstrual, okay? Sometimes our menstrual will make us so depressed and we don't even know what. Saying, you eat your chocolate, eat your ice cream, you eat your chocolate and your chips, your chocolate and your chips, your chocolate and chips. You got to go back and forth between sweet and salt. But the reality is that there's some type of situation that has made you depressed. Again, I take it back to the meditation, because meditating will keep vibrating on a higher level so that you don't even get sick. And we're going to talk about that. It's hard for me in the moments that we're really talking on another subject, but I need you to understand, guys and gals, it is so profound that you meditate, because meditation is what recenters you. And again, there's so much stuff happening with themselves. Like, wow, I mean, who would have thought? But anyway, back to the bullying thing, of course, with self-esteem. So, excuse me, with the people that are bullying someone or making it lower because they feel low, like they said, hurt people. The other one I was going to say was like, when people are down, they want people to be down there with them, but it couldn't think of the whole cliche. But anyway, in order for people to mask how they feel, about who they are inside, you know what I'm saying? Then they start to bully and focus their attention on someone else, because if they have low self-esteem and they can create like it's like the concept of reality TV. You watch because you feel like, if you could see, not you, but I guess me, I feel like, okay, I see how pitiful they look on TV and how pitiful they look in their life. My life don't look nothing like that. But it's not that I'm bullying them. It's just the fact that to me is an example of how a bully thinks. That if they think that their life is so bad, they know it hurts them so bad that they can face it. They don't even face the reality. We hear so many things about men being taken advantage, sexually by some men. They're very resilient, but they go through life harboring and holding. And that's the one thing that a man, if you ask me, one has done something to him, and we hear about that in jail. Okay, but the thing of it is, I don't care who it is and what it is and why and whatever, because I'm gonna tell you, like, as women, most of us are much more verbal about those kinds of things, and therefore we heal easier and quicker and better because we talked about it and we've gotten it out, and we, it doesn't me. So, but you can go to a professional who has long to keep your secrets, but you gotta have power over you. Are you kidding me? Are you for real? You're allowing that person, and I'm not, because you want to boost you up and give you that power to get your power back. Okay? Because at the point of lowering that person's, they're trying low self-esteem in that person, or they don't even really care if that person has low self-esteem, because they feel bad and they don't want you to know that they feel bad. So they need negative attention directed at them by deflecting. Okay, the word that everybody uses, I swear, but I don't know if everybody understands. When I understand, we don't understand, whatever, you can look it up. But basically, if you're deflecting your negative behavior and you're the feeling that you have because of the things that have happened to you, you're yeah, you don't, you look like this, like I you know it, I was always chunky. And this one girl, God rest her soul, but she became my best friend. But she used to come. It's me, for me. I can laugh about it, but it's not funny because for someone who is fat or overweight, you know what I'm saying. You're sensitive to that because you see. I mean, all my life, I would see somebody that had a nice body, and I would be so jealous. But not like I would be mean looking at her. I might be looking at her leg. She walks across the room. And there's some, ooh, she's gay. Well, they don't know nothing. But I did it. I wanted this type of body. It may not be what other people think they should be, but I look good. Don't for me. So don't get it twisted. I'm happy about how I look, but at the same time, there are things that I want to improve, and I will. And when I do, I'm not going to walk out like I think I know. Yeah, period. But reality check is when someone's deflecting. You know what I'm saying? Um, they, they might they might look in the mirror at home and hate the way that they look. They trying to make you feel bad. And it's sad because all I can say to those people is to help you. But the reality is, my love can only go so far, and my admiration can only be given a handful at a time for you to receive it. But no matter what I give you, no matter how much I try to cater to what you need, if you haven't come to the reality that what's going on, pressure that we have to live up to as individuals. And we talk about beauty and fitness, and let me tell you, I love some Kim Kardashian. They're beautiful and they're good at what they do, and I think that the reason I like them is because they're good at what they do. And so for me, that's how I feel. That's good at, and I know that I am, and I will better, and I'm excited. I'm excited about that, and I feel wonderful about that. I feel excited about it. But like Beyonce, I don't know who's had work, who ain't had work, but I would venture to say that she hasn't, because Beyonce, she hasn't, because to this week she had posted this picture, and an avid celebrity crusher and follower. But what I love are clothes. And when he comes out with an outfit and the shit is on point, it makes me just like, woo, because she haven't already. She got on this hat and these like, ooh, it was. So anyway, and a woman like her, she was raised with this body, but people say other women, like, the Kardashians, they pay for it. This is what I say. I don't care how you do and what you get. The person that you are is how the way you carry yourself, and the person that you are with whatever it is that you have is what resonates with people, and that transparency is what people grab. So I don't get hooked, and I call it hooked, because if I start talking noise on somebody else that somebody else is talking noise with, and I walk up to the group and they talking about somebody else, and if I don't excuse myself, then I'm culprit, right? I'm culpable. Okay. So what I do is I'm like, y'all talking about that negative stuff. I don't even want to hear it. But when y'all get on something good, let me know. And then I'm bouncing because I don't into that behavior, because part of me and my successes and me being able to, you help me, is being able to provide you with the positive. My energy right now is on 10 right now. And some of you that my energy, you can feel it. You're feeling it through the screen. When I get off the podcast with you guys, I zonk out and I go to sleep, you know, probably till the midday, because I have exuded so much energy, but I love it. It's not, but I'm also sucking in some energies that are not good energies, and that are energies that I hope that you all get to this point where you heal and when you feel good as I feel. And I hope that people that wish us negativity and come through and penetrate our, screens and our media negative. Um, Earlier this week, this guy somehow, this, I get a phone call and I answer. Right? Sometimes I answer for people, some of my favorites, and there are a lot of people saving my favorites. But sometimes if people call through Messenger, it doesn't ring, and I don't know. I hope Facebook, hey, Androids, so that if I have my phone on focus mode, I usually have it on focus mode because I don't want just anybody calling me, and I have RoboKiller, so a lot of times phone numbers that aren't on my phone. Short is that Messenger sends me a message, the actual message will pop up on my screen, but the phone won't ring if they call me from Messenger. And so when that when that comes up, this is funny. Somebody said this is who they think is they think that somebody off of Love and Hip Hop is a bully. But anyway, it's mode, and my sister's phone call comes through. She's calling from a phone. If she does FaceTime, all that. My son, whoever, but or whatever, and they're on my favorites and they're in my contacts, then I don't know that they called me from Messenger until I pick up my phone and look at it and see that I have a notification. And Instagram's a little bit more proactive though, because I noticed that the other day, this is what I was getting at. I had been wanting, I'm getting any Labradoodle or a Yorkshire Terrier, and then the type of cat that I want is a Siberian, because they're furry and they're cute and they're hypoallergenic, so you won't be allergic to them. But what my point is that I was on this page because y'all know there's a whole bunch of scams. Said something, the guy inboxed me when I had what to do. Since you showing Vicky on your page, can you tag me to Vicky? So I asked Vicky myself, I get somebody else, on Instagram. When they see your comment, then they come back, piggyback and reply to your comment. Yeah, I want to talk to Vicky too. Yeah, I want to talk to Vicky too. So next thing I know, my phone is ringing from Instagram. I answer, pick up the phone, hello. And it's this guy, and he doesn't speak very good English, but he's trying to say something. And I'm like, yes. And then I don't know why, but I could just feel, it just felt like it was an international call. So then he hung up and he sent me a message. He said, why did you put that? Why do you put on my page that you don't think I'm legit or something like that? This is my business. But meanwhile, he's charging $400 for a dog that the AKA says is about $4,500. Okay, 10% he's getting or charging for. Now, if the $450, and and you not sending me any bills, not the point. The whole point that I'm making is that people that do stuff like that are dealing with something that they're trying to get out of. And I understand that and I recognize that. I hate scams. I hate when people try to hit me in my DMs about stuff. We want to do this and we want to do that. If you want me to represent something on my page, ask me to pay for shipping and handling. Don't ask me to pay for nothing. Because if you want me to do it, then you're going to give it to me. And I would do the same for you. So my point is, and you've got to be careful because a lot of you are out and you don't realize you're getting scammed, but then you get pissed off because you got scammed. Realize your own self-worth. You already know that if you want something, don't try to take the low road, take the high road. Hell, Amazon all day long. I'll buy it off Amazon. I ain't gonna lie. But there's so much pressure that we live up to. Beauty, standards, of social status. Like, in many countries, they don't even look at the like. I had these guys in my Uber once, and they were father and son, and they were from Canada, but they were on their way to. And here in Long Beach, there's a port, and there's a port transport that where all goods and any types of goods come through to the United States. They come here in Long Beach. In addition to that, if you want to go somewhere, there's also a cruise ship port. So I dropped them off down there, and they were going to Belize, I think, with their family for Thanksgiving. But they were Canadian, and this African American guy, he was not African American, he was black because he was from Canada, but African American. His skin black man, and hard as it was to believe, the man that was in my car, he was Canadian, so he looked like a tanned white guy with dark hair. But he was like, he never knew until about 3 years ago, he's the father of the son that's in there. The son's about 20, and he's the father, right? And he said, I know about years ago that he was black. And I was like, what? Like, how is that even possible? Like, do you, but different skin color as a I hate when I lose words, but this is the price of getting old. And I'm not so he was like the skin color of someone is, he's like, we can't really get back. So these things, again, like I said, have made us self-aware. But there's so much pressure that we live up to beauty and fitness and themselves to them, and other people become low self-esteem and become victimized by people who want to mind fuck you or bully you, or you know what I mean. And one of the things that, like I said, there's people that I love, that I've, when we were younger, we used to pay the dozens, like your mama this, your mama that, your mama this, your mama okay, that would not be accepted now. Okay, nobody would allow it. The generations that are out there now, oh heck no, you're not gonna say this, and they talk about our own culture and make racial comments. What? People pay for these lips, and I got big lips, and it would make me feel some kind of way when I was 8 years old, 12, and my sister would have been 3 years, and it always started block fights because they had brothers who had been in prison and stuff like that. And it was by their little sisters, but we were afraid of their big sister, and because of that, we a very spiritual woman, very loving and kind. I say, what I feel in her generation, sisters and they all slept in the same bed, and it was way they all smelled like pee because maybe they had when you think about it, but it's freakinality. Okay, so she got bullied. My mom's hair was all the way down her back. Somebody babysat her every day, two legs that cross in and make the cross. They when my mom took her hair, she took the braids out and all the hair fell in her lap. And my mom's hair was this short. And my mom always be hair conscious. She and it was so sad because it made so sad for her that somebody could do that. But that's too another reason African American women grew up or teach their kids, don't let nobody touch your hair. Don't let nobody touch your hair. Don't let them touch nothing. Because we're very particular, because there's things that have been taken away from all of the others. There are certain things like that that have played a huge role in why we are open to sharing ourselves. You know, the people that have become being people have a little bit of narcissism. I'm gonna bring that up as well, but they've been because they're twice as likely to go on bullying others and never fix it. But maybe, you know, they were bullies kids or in the past, or maybe they're being bullied and who knows, you know, but it's used to as a defiance, you know what I'm saying, as a defense mechanism, if you will. So they tend to believe that if they bully others, then they're going to become immune to being bullied themselves. So it builds up this immunity in your mind to think, okay, somebody's talked about me and when I go home, they make me feel negative behaviors. That's where they come from. You know, difficulties in your home life. We have like 7,000 people that are one, and every 3 people are either a child or someone that they feel inferior to. And when these were being done, those are what the things people over them. They don't have enough time. I said about time management. This, and this. Sleep and eat. Got to you. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Say. Most impressionable they need from father, a sister, a brother. See, just because you lost that window doesn't mean you can't go back and start doing it. Anything, even if somebody was doing something to them and say, "You better not tell," I'm gonna kill your parents. You know, they're afraid and they are inferior to that person. So it's important and it's imperative that you let them know. unconditionally. You are there to be the guiding light that they need out of this dust that come from, larger families, like I was saying, and they're more likely to live with people uh, other than their body. There are a lot of things. I'm so annoyed with this stream. Um, they also and come from violent households. We know about people, physically. There's a lot of going on in the home, and because of that, this child or this doesn't know how to adequately, dissolve that fear or that low self-esteem that they have. You know, we say it can have a little bit to do with low education, but because someone lives in a place where they are not as educated as some people, what we're saying is if they don't have the access to, they have hate bias conversations maybe directed at others by their normal family, or maybe they don't understand, what hate speech is, because y'all, y'all heard about that when they at infancy, when the child came out, the child was, because it's all light. So even though there was nothing wrong with their eyes, it's dark. Same concept, mental. If a child is always seeing hostility, terrible things, and hate, they're not going to know that until they're exposed to it. Okay, so in that situation, it's like they may not understand hate speech or derogatory statements in ways that are not appropriate. So they just constantly go. One of the things that's profound that I think a lot of people don't realize is in relationships nowadays, you not think, dude, you going where you been with him, and he crazy, he just crazy, blah, blah, blah. But every day they're saying something to you, female to a guy, whatever, and they're saying stuff, are the type of bullies that are more likely to feel like their friendships and fellowships aren't secure, because they didn't have that same type of a relationship with their friends or their family or their loved ones or whatever. So now, because they didn't have that, in order to keep friendships, they might be pressured by their other friends to actually act in a certain way, or pressure in family relationships to act a certain way. So because of that, then they're more likely again to feel like, no, they're supposed to them, they can do things that they don't feel comfortable. And so why shouldn't they make you or someone they're bullying do they don't feel comfortable about? So you have, there are some of the most common reasons that a person might be bullying other people, but it's not happening to some of you. But if it is, you've got to find support. And again, I'll leave some support groups in that for you. But one of the things that I want to spin into is how this affects us in adulthood, because a lot of the things that we just kind of went over can be likened to more information based on childhood opposed to it being on, adulthood. But reality check, you're in a relationship, you're at home, you're at the crib, you chilling, everything's going great. And when I think, I don't know why this comes to mind, but it makes me think of the movie Precious. there was so many things going on in that movie. But going on in that movie was there was a lot of bullying. There was a lot of things going on, where the mom felt like she was inadequate because she wanted this man's love who really didn't care. All he cared about was, what he was doing to his daughter. And then later we find out that he's suffering from a deadly disease that cannot be cured at the time, and unfortunately has passed it on to her child. And maybe her. I don't even remember if it was with her. But this is how as adult, because for so many, a lot of people have that specific in their life. And most of it we say childhood, but as an adult bully, it could also be it could be controlling partner, romantic, like I said. It could be an unruly neighbor. It could be a salesperson. It could be anybody trying to do something that you don't makes you feel inferior. They're seeing how low on the totem pole you are because you know the main thing is that you find out what it means and what other types of abuse relationships are out there, so that if you're in that, you get past it. One of the things that we as find in adult bullying is that you're a victim and a bystander and a person that's in the limelight of receiving this bullying by another adult. And it's a severe problem. And it can require legal representation and action in some of the circumstances. But, the thing that we talk to contribute to the person being a bully in general can also contribute to adult bullying. In some children and teenagers, that are bullies, they can turn into adults. You know what I'm saying? And it basically what defines an adult bully is that they regularly feel oppressed or belittled or humiliated or, de-energized or like crack. You know what I'm saying? And the end solution, find out, why more people are trying to learn why they don't and can't and shouldn't be controlled by somebody that they for some reason have felt that, maybe you feel like you just wanted to be in a relationship and you just wanted to have somebody. And so because of that, you allowed yourself to be in a relationship with just anyone who is crazy. And like one of my people that's online now says, misery loves company. And that is facts, facts, facts. That was one things I was trying to bring up earlier, that misery loves company, and, it's hard to keep a good woman down, but I think people who are down like to have other people down with them. So, you could be a good person, man, woman, other, but the bottom line is you got to learn how to raise up out of that. So, let's say you're being harassed, you know what I'm saying? And, you basically are trying to find, what in the world is going on. Because people think harassment is one thing and bullying is another thing. But they're similar. But let's say, they're similar as they're both about or in control. That's what I mean. Or they're acts of intentional hurt or harm to you or someone else. It's a disproportion of power, basically. I know I'll be making a word sometimes, but they victimize you, and for the most part, their bullying and harassment are the same because the target that they're making is they can't stop the action towards them. The person that's being targeted can't stop the action towards them. So that is where they're most alike. But there are some differences and some things that you should understand Because of course, the one is happening, seek counsel, seek advice. But the difference between bullying and harassment is that when the behavior is directed at a large, at a target who becomes to say belongs say to a protected class, and a protected class would be it's defined like, so if somebody's harassing you and you belong to a protected class, this is defined as harassment. You're a protected class, like your race, your color, your religion, your sex, your age, your gender, whether you have a disability or not, or natural origin or whatever. So there's so many ways that adult that there are different types of adult bullies. Some of adult bullying is like a tangible, like material bully. Okay. And these are the type of people that like to use their form of power, like your boss or your manager. Now, Eddie, if you don't do such and such, you won't be getting their promotion, blah, blah, blah. Or, it looks like you just can't seem to get it. Well, it looks like because, whatever, maybe because you make $5 an hour. If you was making $10 an hour, you might be a better person. So they use this to ultimately intimidate you and anybody else that they can underneath them. They're using their power inadequately. So that's a tangible or a material bully. You also have a verbal bully. And as an adult, verbal bullies, what we're talking about is a verbal bully likes to shame you and insult you with words that they have. They throw constant criticism, or they use cruel things to tease you. Yeah, that's why your toe so big, because I knew this guy, and somehow as a child his teeth, one tooth protruded out in front of the other. And somebody came to him and they always said, every time you eat a sandwich, that tooth sticks me first. It was funny at the time, but at the same time, it's a form of bullying. And why is that person using verbal bullying to say that? But then the person that had the tooth like that looked into it, and he allowed it. Because basically, it was like, he had situation so many times that he become the verbal bullying. But it's not okay, because sometimes the language that people use can be sexist or racist or homophobic or threatening. And when it gets to that level, those are things that again bring fear to you in some way or another. And maybe they don't, maybe you want to retaliate, but at the same time, this person is verbally bullying you, and there are ways for you to prevent this. Now, my worst kind of bullying, passive aggressive bullshit, to be, like, oh my gosh, every time I want to explain passive aggressive, because it's so emotionally draining and toxic to me, and something that I just don't want to get hooked on in terms of repeating things that people have said, that I forget my examples. But one of the things I can say is, like, say you might consider someone who's to be passive aggressive as a bully, because the type of that is, it can be cunning and the act of them being antisocial on the outside, but they take unexpected swings at you. Like, they might be sitting in a room, like, not wanting to talk to the other people across the room, or not being very social with other people, but for some reason they always saying about you things like gossiping about you. I hate it for somebody to say, "Is that your hair?" Because if I bought it and I put it in, yeah, it's my hair, okay? But I don't necessarily want them to touch it. That would take me over the edge. I was doing my laundry earlier today. I go over to the laundry to go get my clothes, and this man had taken my stuff out and put it on the table. Oh, I said, did you touch my clothes? He goes, yeah, because I stood here for 30 minutes and nobody came. And I was like, well, you should have went to the office and they would have told you. I was like, well, don't touch my clothes ever. And later had to apologize because, I came at him hard. But I was like, I'm very territorial with stuff. Like, I don't know what kind of germs you got in your house. The clothes are clean. You took them out of the dryer. Like, why are you touching my stuff? You can wait. Okay. Anyway, matter of fact, I got up at 7 o'clock this do laundry. You got up at noon, and now you want me to hurry up? I don't think so. See, I'm getting hooked because people be doing stuff like that, right? But anyway, the point that I'm making is with this scenario, okay, if if we talk about passive aggressive behavior, and so that person wants to gossip about you and say, she got this, she got that, or yeah, right. Sarcastic jokes. Like I was talking about somebody being African American, talking about another African American, talking about our lips, talking about the way you shape, talking about we look like monkeys, stuff like that. No, that ain't funny. That is not funny. And at no point or level will I be laughing or engaging with you. You might get cussed out. But the people that don't know that, and the people that don't have that own self-confidence, you know what I'm saying? Those are hurtful jokes. And there's a few ways that this type of bully behaves. But But the main thing is that they may not roll, they may roll their eyes or make like a rude facial expression at you, or ridicule you or mimic you. They might isolate them in just so that they can target you when they see you. But they're all isolating you as the target, just to make sure that you feel anxious and insecure. Aggressive crap, like like one of the famous ones is like, say for some instance in relationships, somebody says, well, if you don't do that, if you do it, a lot of us do it and we don't know that we're being passive aggressive. But like, say if you don't give me money for it, then that's fine, I'll just find it some other kind of way. No, you won't, because if you had it, you wouldn't have asked in the first place. No, I need money, or you're not going to give it to me. And if you say no, fine. I give no response to that, because in situations like that, if those people are for you, they're going to be there for you. If they're not for you, they don't need to be there for you. But don't go back and be like, well, fine, if you don't want to help me, then fine, I'll do something else, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and da 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 da. Passive aggressive bull crap. Ooh, can't stand passive aggressiveness. But nowadays we know a lot about cyberbullying. We've heard so many unfortunate stories about people committing suicide, and things happen, because their problems, having aired out on camera. Excuse me. I remember watching some Lifetime original, and the boy peed in the bed, and they hung up the sheets and did all this stuff and posted it on the internet, and then he was feeling some kind of way. Another one was, someone's sexual preference and the choice that they made to be with the person that they wanted to be with. Anyone can be a victim of harassing emails, text messages, and social media. Social media, I think, is probably one of the most common. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to deal with it. You can report their ass and they won't have a page tomorrow. The thing is, are you trying to take measures into your own hands, or someone that can protect you? And these are things that can protect you. So you want to deal with that. Now, physically being bullied, that's abuse in the worst form to me. Or you draw a gun at me or whatever, those are the types of things that people can respond to, and violence begets violence. But at the same time, it is what it is. But, physical bullies can range from, like I said, simulating violence by raising their fist at you, as if they were about to strike you or hit you or throw you, and break something or objects at you, so to any violent act, like I said, a gun, whatever. But any physical, domestic, and sexual abuse, those are the worst of them all. And so, with that, if let's say that's happening, even as a bystander, question, you gonna do something, right? But I think a lot of us have in a society as well is like, the famous little emoji that goes like this and like this and like this. It's the little monkey. Now, I could, I don't know why they chose monkey, but I'm sure that they're gonna update that because we all know that African Americans don't take too kindly being sent a monkey, right? Okay, so as long as they use this monkey emoji to say hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. That's why he covers his eyes. And so because of that, we basically are saying, or we have been taught in society. I remember my mom and all my aunts used to say, y'all better not open that door for nobody, and you better not tell nobody my business. Okay, let's say she was having, I'm not saying this happened to me because this never happened to me, but maybe she had a boyfriend. The boyfriend's in there abusing her. Am I supposed to not see, not hear, not speak? I don't think so. Oh, because matter of fact, my did have a man that was trying to hear. I called 911 and ran to the neighbor. The funny thing about a man that hits a woman was when the police got there, he was scared as shit. He couldn't do nothing. But I asked my mom in his ass, why don't you pick up a lamp and throw it at him? Well, even if he does get hit by it, basically he's gonna get a repair. But if he hits you, he's hitting you and you got a big lip, bruise. Like, boy, I tell you what, the first time will be the last time. Okay, that's all I got to say about that one. And I have a big ass son. But anyway, the thing about it is, some people can even utilize humor to redirect maybe a derogatory conversation. Like I was saying to you earlier, don't someone hook you into a conversation that is negative, that is bad, that is not nice. Don't let them hook you in that mess. But that ends because people like to gossip, they like to talk noise, they like to talk to people. And one of my comments today, she said, I think Mama D, if you're out there, I don't mean this in no kind of way, but they said they think you a bully. And I don't disagree. But we have to look at it from this perspective. Mama D and the lifestyle she had and has let us been known or been privy to, she used to be a drug dealer. She used to run, I think she did other things besides the drug dealer. But the bottom line is that she was exposed to that behavior, so she became that type of person. And I do think and feel that over the years of her being on Love and Hip Hop, I've seen her work towards bettering herself. But I also see that she, as moms, okay, it's like me, I have an only son. And I do my damnedest to stay out of his life and his business, because there have been scenarios where he had girlfriends or whatever. And at the age, it was appropriate for me to be his mom and be up in his business. What? Like, the little, okay. Anyway, so, but now, it became very difficult for me to separate them, and I don't want him to create these mistakes that I see that he's making. And so when I see him making them, I keep on saying, damn, how many times is he going to do that before he realizes that that's not the route to go? So my prayers are always like, oh, friends of mine, and I'm friends with their wife, and they like family. Can you talk to someone? Can you talk to my son? Because or whatever. And he hates when I do that, but I don't care, because I'm his mama. I brought him into this world, and I'm not following the adage of I'll take him out, because I would never do that. Bring him into this world He has no idea how many things that I've done to protect him and save him from different things. There have been times when I quit jobs just because I couldn't get off to be home when he got home from, and I wasn't going to leave him alone. And I remember working in the South, and I worked for Krispy Kreme. And Krispy Kreme, by the way, when they take the donuts out of the plates and they replace them, they throw them away. So sometimes there would be homeless people, and I would feed them, because we don't count them. They didn't count them. They just throw them in a barrel. But there was this man. He was an older one. Can I say gentleman? No, he was an older white man, and he said to me, "That boy don't have nobody that can watch him, and he can't be home by himself." He said, "You can get this route done, and then you can go take care of that boy." Child, that was my last day of Krispy Kreme. And I didn't get no unemployment because I quit. I said, "Boy, and you could do this your damn self." And I threw down the keys, clocked out, and I brought my ass home. No, you're not going to disrespect me or my child. Boy was very derogatory. It's a very derogatory thing in the South, coming from someone who you bully you. So it was like, and at the time it was paying the highest job but I knew I was getting one more check. So I ain't worried. I just deuces. And I went to his football game because he played AAU and high school ball. And I bet you if you ask him, he can't tell you a dead A game ever. Because it was important for me to be in the audience. And all his friends would say, "Oh, we always knew when Miss Dina was there because you could hear me." And I used to be a cheerleader, so I have a big mouth. And I sing. I got good lungs. What can I say? But anyway, not the point. The point is, you have to intervene. If you see people doing something and you see them hurting somebody, y'all, step in. Don't be that person that we was back in the 70s and 80s where our parents told us, "You better not tell nobody what kind of world we in right." And so that's what we want to admire to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand that some people get kind of scared because I'm on this whole Breaking Bad binge. Oh my God, Breaking Bad has broken so many rules, and yet at the same time it has just tripped me out. Mr. White, how could you be that way? And Jesse Pinkman, who was supposed to be the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not at the end of out is season 6 is coming out at the beginning. There's something, but there'll be another season, and it'll be the last season because, of course, how long can you keep going on being a meth chemical lab specialist? Anyway, I was just amazed and stuff like that. So in those scenarios, that's what I liked about the character who played Jesse Pinkman, because Jesse had he had and came back from it. He got himself together. He was a millionaire. Hell, he had two bags of money that equal 2 point. He had $5 million money out. Now, why somebody would call the police, I don't know. But regardless, the point is he had more and values. He did quit the business, but it holding him because Mr. White got so damn greedy. He was rich. With that is that sometimes you have to be the person that has the morals and the values that stand upright so that you can make sure that you're helping other people. Forget the people that want to talk shit. Remember, they're a bully. And the fact that they're a bully, it means that they're weak. They're weak because they can't even identify their own issues And if they were basically willing to handle what they was going through, then they will be able to make it be something about somebody else. You have to stand up for right. What's right is in little is faithful in much. We laughed because we are being judged on spirit, and that spiritual, level that we're being judged on, we're trying to reach high to someone and try. It's important that you be the person that stands up for what is right and that speaks out for what is wrong. Reality TV history was in got caught on tape from your beating the dog. Him pain. It's because MTV ain't putting up with that shit. You can't abuse a dog, a cat, a fly, nothing, because they're great advocates of many, many things, and they have many, many shows, give them support lines and things like that. So it hurt that someone caught it on tape, and that when they exposed him, because it's like it's probably something that he had been doing for a long time, because he didn't know how else to diffuse his pain, and his pain was coming from things that may have been to do with his business, maybe not. Maybe he wants to explain that he did it to the dog because the dog deserved it, in his opinion. But no man, no beast deserves to be abused like that. That is just sad. I mean, and people raise and these are the most beautiful, loving. He would damn near tear off my fingers. We have a pit bull in our family. I will give them food, and it's like they put the food out of your hand and never use their teeth to hurt you, because they're smart people who abuse their pets. They won't call it about seeing a woman or a man get abused. That's crazy to me. It's backward. So remember, there's strength in numbers, people. You know what I'm saying? And they then demonstrate the fact that Bob and let you talk like that about so and so and such and such. You can even walk side by side with that person to get them to safety, whatever it takes to diffuse any potential harm or interactions that this person might have. Because again, if that person's being bullied, they don't even realize that they can escape it, because now maybe they've become upset. And it just hurts me deep down inside. This is what was so with my son over the years, because of the things that had happened to me at 5 years old. And I knew what had happened to me. So I was doing everything I could to make sure it never happened to him. So I wouldn't let him, so I quit that job because I was like looking at him like, no, I can't call somebody else to babysit him. No, and I'm not. I could not. And then what happened to my mom? Her hair get cut out. And then he grew up, people always called him, well, when you're 8, who else is you going to be, with? You know what I mean? He has a father. His father was there. but divorced. And so we weren't in the same household. So he couldn't come home every day. But his relationship my son had built with me was because I was a mother that was always there, always and knew there. Now he's spoiled as shit. And I have some but and I want him to fix and change because I'm forever. But every man deserves to be loved by a woman that can support him in a way that gives him that stability, that love, and in like manner, that man deserves, with respect, love, and loyalty, to show her that he cares about her. No, just like with your boys, you don't treat your boys better than your girl, or do you? Anybody, you know, and your Xbox or whatever, hell, you know how to make. Nobody wants to give anyone an ultimatum, but at the same time, and it's not just the Xbox. I'm just using these things because that's very little compared to some of the big things. But at the same time, men tend to lose themselves in certain things like a game, or they're having to deal with reality. Whatever the reality is, you ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell your mom. You ain't got to tell your dad. You ain't got to tell your best friend. But you can go get therapy, and ain't nobody got to know. The reason that so many people and so many men specifically say, I'm not going to therapy about you because you've been bullied your whole life. You've been exposed to someone who is making you feel like shit because you didn't do what they thought you should do. But because they like all that going on and do that's like, why are you continuing to make yourself feel like they're trying to make you feel? Ray, you are loved. You can be the better man, the better woman, the better without having to harbor this hatred and anger and resentment and frustration that somebody else is giving you. Somebody to control you. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. And that's why I've been an adventure to China. And I sing, yes, I sing, still sing, and process where I'm learning more about myself and I'm healing because it's preparing me for something major. And I know that. And so I realized that the reason that I'm like even working on my music right now, I'm working on it. I'm like things like that because when I shop the beats, then it makes me create a music. It's got Pro Tools on my other computer in the room, and I love singing. I'm never going to give that up. A woman, the part of me that is keeping me in the house right now. It's keeping me in a place where I am being told to be still, but it's still keeping me meditating, learning more and more about who Dina Marie, so that I continue to evolve to those levels. But it's not time. And up at anybody's face, but it's just that I've just been chilling. How to eat. I don't do a lot of things. My birthday is coming up on February 22nd. Hey Pisces 22. And somebody asked me, one of my neighbors, when I was doing like, what you gonna do for your birthday? Because this is deep. My grandson's birthday is the 11th, which is Saturday, and my birthday is 22nd, and that's 11, 11, 22. It's very, very powerful. His date is my date. Nothing you can make up. They're angelic numbers. So positive that are happening to him. He has an awesome mother, my grandson. He that their awesomeness comes in him, and so I sit there and I look at you know son, please, and now it's about my grandbabies, anything bad to happen to them. And so because of that, I always pray for his parents, no matter what they go through because of each other, but they can raise their kids in this love that they need to know about now because of the way people bully us. And I don't want my child to pass on that, to pass to pass she went through to them either. I want to protect them. I want to be that innocent bystander, and like I'm telling you about, that comes in and checks privately on the bullied person to let them know that I am here. I am here. And I want them to know. And they call me Mimi Dina, and they're Mimi on their mom's side, Mimi and her first name. And so I know that they are loved beyond anything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I was fortunate to have that older generation in our lives. It's up to us to tell them that that's not nice. And my mom, she had a nurse, and her nurse was a very brown skinned woman. And my mom, she passed away because she had diabetes and she was on dialysis, and she passed because she decided she wouldn't do it anymore. But she had a home nurse that would come to my home, and she would take care of her wounds and things like that, change the dressing and stuff, because I was squeaming. I couldn't do it. This do it. Not that I just couldn't do it and didn't want to do it, but I couldn't see my mom go through that, and it was just difficult. She's big and black. She's big. She is black. But that generation that you came from, they did call people big, but it's not nice. It's not right. It's not fair. We how to admonish them. We learn how to be humble, hungry, and honest about how we feel inside. And if you can't do that, then you're not healing yourself. And again, it is so that you let someone know, and one thing, relationship, look them in the eye. I'm going to be here for you when you need me. You're not going to do that to me. So, folks, I feel so excited that somebody has been touched. You know what I mean? Like the angels, they went and they saved one, and God rejoiced. They all rejoiced over that one, opposed to the many that he already had. It's important that we just save the one. And maybe that's you. But like I always tell you, I'm healing me. You heal you. And we heal each other. May so excited and coming a 10-day stint of little snippets that I'm going to put out. I'm going to pre-record those and put those out so I can hopefully get more people to bring more awareness to my brand. So again, I love you. Peace. and so maybe that send you out on one of my songs that vibe. But I also
Don't be
my tapings
confused.
get
I got that vibe, that vibe keeps me alive. Now you hear the message clear. Stand up and have no fear. No fear, no fear, no, no, no fear. No fear, no fear, no, no, no fear. I got that vibe. I got that vibe. I got that vibe, that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You see now that you breathe. That vibe in me. Waking up in the middle of the night with the woes of the world is fight or flight. Gonna dance, ain't no one stopping. No little things, big things popping. Walking through my dreams, no trolling. Take the good and the bad, keep rolling. Negativity, face slapping. Stories being told, they happen. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. I'm vibing, I'm moving to that vibe. 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 Deep shit all around me, but I gotta go through just to ground me on the other side. Where the sky is blue, words are true, right point of view. Don't be confused. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Now you hear the message clear. Stand up and have no fear. No fear, no fear, no, no, no fear. No fear, no fear, no, no, no fear. I got that vibe. I got that vibe. I got that vibe keeps me alive. I got that vibe keeps me alive. Move your body to the music beat. You gotta do you, I'll do me too. Cause it takes a village, true. And when I help me, I really help you. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You help me too, we see each other through, yeah. You see that you breathe. That vibe in me. Waking up in the middle of the night with the woes of the world is fight or flight. Gonna dance, ain't no one stopping. No little things, big things popping. Walking through my dreams, no trolling. Take the good and the bad, keep rolling. Negativity, face slapping. Stories being told, they capping. I got that vibe. I got that vibe, that vibe keeps me alive.